I'm not a big fan of found footage horror, and Hunting Matthew Nichols is not doing a lot to change my mind.
Welcome to Deadsville.
Greetings, Boo Believers. Welcome to Deadsville Horror Talk. I'm your host, Ronin James, and on this episode, we're going to review the new found footage mockumentary, Hunting Matthew Nichols. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for all the latest horror talk and for our spoiler-free and spoiler-filled reviews. You can find Deadsville Horror Talk on all streaming platforms as well as all social media, especially on YouTube at Deadsville13, where you can listen and watch all the podcasts and video content that we produce. A bit about me, I'm Ronin James Greene. I have been a stuntman for over 20 years, stunt coordinator, and now I direct and produce and create content for Deadsville Productions, my own company. If you're just tuning in, you have probably seen me get unalived or blown up or crash a car or jump out a window on things like Gotham and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, among others. And I like to think that I provide a little more insight than your regular horror movie podcast, as I have a lot of behind-the-scenes experience and insider knowledge in the industry. All right, let's get into it. Here's the synopsis for Hunting Matthew Nichols. 2 decades after her brother mysteriously disappeared on Vancouver Island, a documentary filmmaker sets out to solve his missing persons case. When a disturbing piece of evidence is revealed, she comes to believe he might still be alive. Hunting Matthew Nichols is directed by Markian Tarasuk. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Written by Sean Harris Oliver and Markian Tarasuk. Stars Miranda McDougall, Markian Tarasuk, and Christine Wiles, among others. This is an independent found footage docudrama. And yes, this was actually a 2024 film, but it is now releasing in theaters on April 10th. In 2026, it will come to limited AMCs, and I got to catch it at a Scream Unseen event. So I went to, if you're not familiar, AMC has Scream Unseen on Monday nights, where for, I think it was $5.99 a ticket, you can go and you don't get the title of the movie, but you see a usually R-rated horror movie before it comes out, and you don't know what it is. So I went into this one last week, and I was hoping that I was going to see The Yeti, which I had seen trailers for and was very excited for, and that we will get to in another review. But yes, when it started, I got mistreated, I should say, to this found footage docudrama. Yes, mockumentary, I guess is what we should call it. Because yes, this is a fake documentary about a girl who finds some new evidence, I guess, and is making a documentary about her brother and his friend's disappearance many years before this. So, I'll be honest, when I realized what it was, and I had seen trailers for this before I had come to the Scream Unseen, so when I'll be honest, when I saw that it was this, I was very tempted to get up and leave and go into another theater and watch another movie, but I had just watched, again, because I don't really like found footage movies. I'm not a big fan. I find it to be a cheap gimmick. But I had just watched Body Cam on Shudder and was pleasantly surprised by that one. I was like, wow, Body Cam wound up being really pretty good. I really enjoyed Body Cam. It got, unlike most of these things, it got right to the action and scares and stuff, and didn't spend a whole lot of time boring us with talking heads, because it's from the body cam point of view. So I guess that, and these are, it was officers, investigating a case or answering a call, I should say, that leads to a lot more. But this isn't a body cam review. This is a Hunting Matthew Nichols review. And right off the get-go, This one was talking heads. And that's my biggest pet peeve about, found footage movies or these mockumentary things is you get a whole lot of talking heads and a whole lot of footage that doesn't show you a whole lot for the first hour plus, and then you get finally some payoff, hopefully at the end, the old Blair Witch Project trick. But yes, and most of these movies can't do what Blair Witch did. So Hunting Matthew Nichols is a perfect example. It was very boring. I had trouble keeping my eyes open. It is a lot of talking. It is a lot of this actress talking to the camera. There's some behind the scenes with her and the writer, director, also co-star here, who it's another, a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. When you get writer, director starring in something, maybe pick a couple, maybe one lane, two lanes, I don't know. And I don't know what Markian Tarasuk has done before, but we'll jump to that in a second. This thing was very slow, very boring. By the time I fell asleep, so I don't even know if I can give an honest review of this movie. I'm going to go off of what other people have said on Rotten Tomatoes and tell you my experience on it. I hated it. I'm just going to come out and say it right now. And I don't like to bash movies, and I especially don't like to bash independent movies. I'm not going to lie. I do like to bash Hollywood movies. Let me say that. I do like to bash Hollywood movies because giant studio movies have all the money and all the resources that they should be able to make a quality product. Okay? So I won't say I don't like to bash. I do like to bash Hollywood studio movies that fuck up when they have all those resources at their disposal. I don't like to bash independent filmmakers because I'm one myself, first of all, and 9 times out of 10, independent filmmakers don't have all the resources that they would like to tell the proper story that they're trying to tell. So they have to cut some corners and make some sacrifices in their visual storytelling due to budgetary constraints. So I don't like to bash independent filmmakers, but sometimes you have to, what's the saying, call a spade a spade. This thing is boring as hell. This movie was boring. It was just so boring. And I didn't buy the lead actress. I didn't buy that she was really like grieving for her disappeared brother and friend. I felt like she was an actress who thought she was getting her big break in this movie. That's what it felt like watching it. I can't even remember half of what went on because it all blends together. I saw it a couple weeks ago and it all blends together. I was very disappointed with my Scream Unseen experience, so much so that I skipped last night's Scream Unseen and went and saw They Will Kill You for a second time with one of my co-hosts, so she hadn't seen it yet. But yeah, I was so disappointed in my Scream Unseen experience thanks to this movie that I skipped the next one. And it wound up being a good movie that I did want to see. But yes, back to this. I'm just going to jump to our Rotten Tomatoes, and we'll discuss that so you can kind of get an idea. Well, I guess first I should get to this director real quick. Oh, Markian Tarasuk. And this is a Canadian film. He's a Ukrainian-Canadian director. And what has he done? There's Someone Inside Your House, Virgin River TV series, True Justice TV movie, a lot of TV stuff. Yes. Oh, a whole lot of TV stuff. He did The Night Agent. Oh, no, he acted. Oh, I'm sorry. He's an actor, too. Okay. This guy's also an actor. Okay. That explains it. Here we go. So he's acted in 37 things, mostly TV. He's been a TV actor. He has directed 2. Hunting Matthew Nichols is his real, actually, directorial debut. He directs a podcast called No Way Podcast for 10 episodes. Man, I need to put my podcast directing episode IMDb credits up, I guess, because I direct and produce this entire thing myself. My co-hosts are talent, but I direct this and I'm showrunner and all this stuff. Man, I need to add these credits. Put Deadsville Horror Talk on IMDb. But yes, this person has directed a podcast, and he's acted in a bunch of things. This explains a lot. I had no idea this going in either, and I haven't really looked at this since I watched the movie because it left a bad taste in my mouth. But now that I'm digging in, it's explaining a lot. So here we go. He's acted in a bunch of stuff, and he's directed Hunting Matthew Nichols. So yes, why not, since you're directing your first feature, it's always a good idea to not only write it and direct it, but also put yourself on camera for a huge portion of it too. That's good idea. I really can see why this thing was so boring now. Oh, yeah, this makes a lot more sense now, Boo Believers. A lot more sense. I don't even know if I can spoil much because I don't remember the ending. I was asleep. I woke up and some stuff was happening, but I couldn't tell you what it was. This makes sense. This is an actor who is, this was his first shot at directing, and he couldn't help but cast himself as the second lead. So that's a pet peeve. I know, I'm sorry, but it is. I'm a director myself, and I might throw myself in. I will say, I acted and produced something that I was one of the leads in, Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries, but I had somebody else direct it until they let me down, and I had to direct it myself, of course, with the reboot. But that's another story. This explains a lot. So yeah, Hunting Matthew Nichols, the director, writer, co-star. Yep. Let's check out Miranda McDougal because she's our star. She plays the actress in search of her brother. Miranda was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Holds an BFA in acting and has had the privilege of working alongside world-renowned theater, blah, blah, blahs. Okay, so she's a Canadian actress. She's known for, she was on the Flash TV series. So I might have seen her before there. Bit part. Izzy Bowen. Clifford DeVoe, The Thinker. I don't know. She did 3 episodes. Okay. 3 episodes of The Flash. But yeah, she's only acted in 7 things. When Calls the Heart, a TV series. She did 19 episodes of that one between 2025 and 2026. So she has some experience there. TV actress. Return to Office. TV movie. Wild Cards TV series. Hunting Matthew Nichols. Playing Tara Nichols. Yeah, the rest is all TV stuff. So, not surprising. And this was actually a couple years ago. She has since been on the TV show. So back when she did this movie, she didn't even have all that TV acting under her belt. She had only done a couple things before that, which explains a lot because I wasn't buying it in this movie. I really wasn't buying it. Hopefully she's gotten to be a better actress since then. And again, no offense to, what's her name? Miranda McDougal. No offense to Miranda McDougal, but yeah, not impressed with Hunting Matthew Nichols. All right, so now we're going to jump to the, not IMDb, to the Rotten Tomatoes here. And there's no scores yet because there's only 5 reviews. A horror documentary that doesn't get points for originality, but it's effective, gripping, and creepy. I disagree. It's very obvious that the filmmaker did his homework, but if you ask me, he may have overstudied. Okay. Yeah, there are worse things to be than a film that wears its admiration for the Blair Witch Project on its sleeve. Oh yeah, I guess I'll wait for spoilers because I do remember one spoiler and we'll get to that. 6 out of 10, worth the watch for its inventive narrative and layered mystery. I mean, these people must be friendly with the cast. 7 out of 10. Hunting Matthew Nichols isn't a slow burn, it's a slow build, consistently works towards a show-stopping finale that it does a really good job meticulously laying the groundwork for. If you say so, I did not find that at all. There are no audience reviews found for it. What do we have here? I'm going to go back to the IMDb reviews and see if there's anything on there, because I can't believe that this thing... Yeah, user reviews. Here we go. This is more like it. User reviews average a 5.4 out of 10. And here's the featured reviews. Should have stayed a secret movie forever. Oh, yeah, this will be fun. Here we go. This is a user review, a 5 out of 10. I saw this one as Cinemark's secret movie feature for $5, so not knowing what to expect, this movie came onto the screen. At first, I thought it was a real documentary, and I silently groaned. It is not that I don't like documentaries, but I hate those disappeared documentaries on crime networks. Me too. Where there's no resolution to the mystery. However, I soon deduced that this one was another one of those fake found footage films that I despised even more. Yes, exactly. I fucking hate these movies. The acting is not completely amateurish, and neither is the direction. No, these people have obviously been on sets before, but they aren't actual directors. and they were very amateur actors at the time, apparently. The plot and dialogue are lame. Yes, the writing is terrible. The plot's terrible. It's lame. And here we go. I was completely bored and could not wait to leave the theater. Totally agree. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I took a nap. I took the advantage of the darkness to take a nap, and I wasn't woken until the end. I slept pretty good until the end. Other than a minor jump scare, this movie had no horror, no suspense, no anything. I honestly have no idea what the other reviewers are talking about. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm giving this a helpful. Yes. This one is not quite as stupid as the Blair Witch Project, but it comes close. I gave this one a 5 since it wasn't completely incompetent. As I said in the title of my review, this one should stay secret. And that's D.L. Miley who reviewed that one. I love it. Yes, I agree. It's so boring. I'm going to get to the other thing, too, about the Blair Witch Project. I'm going to read this next review, though. Oh, it's asking me right now how I would rate Hunting Matthew Nichols. I'm going to give it a... Should I go 1 or 2 stars out of 10? I'm going to give it a 2 because the sound and everything was okay. Like, the picture was okay. It was competently shot, and I could hear the audio, so you get a point each for those. But everything else... thumbs down, hot garbage. And Jeremy Beavers seems to agree. Here we go with Jeremy Beavers' review. Hot garbage. He gave it a 1 out of 10. Saw this at an early screening, meaning for the US, this movie is a slow burn to nowhere. The last 15 minutes are all the action, and it's not even good. Do not waste your money. Go watch Paint Dry. It will be more exciting. This movie could have been good, but they missed the mark by a long shot. There are far better found footage movies out there. And yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Jeremy Beavers. I'm going to agree. I don't know who these other people are. I mean, some of these people have to be like related to the cast who are leaving some of these 8 and 9 great slow burn reviews. Here's one that more accordance to me. This one is Nearly Fell Asleep from Sora 90756 on IMDb. Nearly fell asleep. Sora, I did fall asleep. This movie was a travesty, a good idea done completely wrong. It lacks any stakes until the last 10 minutes of the movie. The acting was terrible. The production felt cheap. Such a time waste. Spend your time elsewhere. We saw this as the mystery movie and the entire theater could not stop laughing. Maybe the worst mystery movie we have seen in our time seeing them over the last few years. Whew, man, these reviews are brutal. I love it. I'm loving it. Man, I'm going to go to the next one because this is another, yeah, this is great. Michael Hardy calls it shockingly terrible. Wow, what a dud. This is a terrible film. Poorly acted, poorly executed, terrible story. I hated it from start to finish. This was a mystery film where you don't know what you are seeing before it starts. It was a terrific disappointment. Would strongly recommend that all stay far, far away. There is nothing to see here. I can't agree more. Michael Hardy on IMDb. I love it. That's perfect review. Thumbs up to the review. Thumbs down to the movie. Oh man, and the next one calls it a multi-format ripoff. Let's check the boxes. Fake documentary, check. Blair Witch Project clone, check. Satanic supernatural lazy inclusion, check. Got all of those into the movie, so release it. What should have been a slow burn mixing past events and current investigation ends up being the worst of both. The faux documentary style makes it almost a fourth wall break situation where they muddle up what's happening and what they're filming. Yep. So, all right, I'm gonna stop with the spoiler-free reviews there, and yeah, I'm gonna jump to spoilers in a second. But yeah, this is universally not universal. There's a couple people giving it 8s and 9s. They must be related to the director or the actress or something. But yeah, I agree with these terrible reviews. This movie was poorly written, put me to sleep. And again, I mean, I'm just going to give it to you now. There's spoilers in case you have gotten this far and still think that you are going to go check out Hunting Matthew Nichols and don't want it spoiled. I'm not going to give you the ending, but I'm going to give you a pretty big plot element, if you will, and it'll probably make you groan because it made me groan when I was watching it on screen. So here it comes. Spoilers. We're just jumping to the spoiler section right now.
Digging deeper.
The whole movie is based on these two friends who, the one, they wanted to be filmmakers, and the one got a camera for Christmas one year, so he used to film stuff, and they went and saw the Blair Witch Project and were just huge fanboys, so they wanted to go out into the woods and shoot Blair Witch Project style horror movie, documentary, whatever, just be filmmakers. They would make all these films, and eventually they disappeared in the woods. And yeah, they just, like, when you get that meta, where you're ripping off the Blair Witch Project, obviously, and you're going to tell me that the reason you're ripping off the Blair Witch Project is that it's that because the characters in the movie were just fucking Blair Witch Project fanboys. So it's, yeah, so we could just rip off the Blair Witch Project. I not only give you a thumbs down, I give you the finger. Fuck this movie. I'm going to go back and change my score on Rotten Tomatoes to a 1 as well. Because, yeah, now that I think about it, now that I've gotten to the spoiler section and I get mad talking about this whole fucking stupid plot device of them being fanboys of the Blair Witch Project. And look, man, look. I respect the Blair Witch Project. I respect what it did at the time. And I hated it. I hated it. Because I hated just the whole idea of it. It made me hate found footage movies. But I respect that it was well made and the payoff at the end was worth it, blah, blah, blah. But that's what fucking catapulted this found footage bullshit genre onto us, where it's just a cheap gimmick, cop-out way for filmmakers to make a cheap movie and hope that it hits so that they could make some money off of it. It's a cash grab. That's what 90% of these found footage, and especially these fucking mockumentary things, it's just a cash grab. Because you know how easy it is to shoot a mockumentary like this bullshit? You can come here and shoot a whole fucking mockumentary with the talking heads right here in this room. on another white wall over there at the other end of the soundstage here. So they're ridiculously cheap and easy, and then if they blow up because they go viral or whatever you want to call it in the film world, then you make $1 billion. Dr. Evil your way into into the making real horror movies or some shit. But I just hate them. They suck. They're usually nothing but bullshit up until the very end. You get a final reveal. That's why when I watched Body Cam on Shudder, I was so pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, this one was actually really good. And I gave it a really good score and a really good review. So I didn't walk out of this one, but I groaned when it came on the theater at the Scream Unseen. And yeah, I fucking hate found footage. Maybe a message to AMC and Cinemark and some of these places that are putting these movies out there. I skipped your next Scream Unseen because you hit me with this fucking found footage bullshit. So I didn't go to your Scream Unseen the following week because I didn't want to get another Hunting Matthew Nichols bullshit ass mockumentary found footage movie. So yes, for the record, anybody who works for AMC or is in the theater business, yeah, that one hurt your rep a little bit. I'm going to tell you right now. That one should have kept that one, like the review on IMDb said, should have stayed secret with that one and just pop something else up there. So, all right, well, I guess that's going to do it. I don't think I need to get into a whole lot else. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of the plot. I mean, we could talk about a couple things here. 23 years after her brother mysteriously disappeared, a documentary filmmaker sets out to solve her missing case. Yeah, I mean, she didn't seem that old either to be like that. She really even, like 23 years it's been, and now you're going? Because I guess they had to time that out to the release of the Blair Witch Project so that they could rip off the Blair Witch Project. Yeah, that's why I guess it had to happen. It had to be 23 years. And she looked like she was 26. So she was 3 years old when her brother went missing, and I don't remember. So, let's see. Anything of note? Canadian horror film coming to theaters April 10th, written, directed, and starring Markian Terasuk in his directorial debut. I might not want to put this one on I might want to change that to John Smithy if I want to keep pursuing directing. It has elements of a found footage documentary in which filmmakers explore a decades-long unsolved disappearance. Development. Terasuk was inspired by true crime documentaries on Netflix as a satire to some degree and myths around the world involving forest creatures. The film was inspired by the Blair Witch Project and The Ring. The film was made over several weeks in December on Vancouver Island to capture a gray, rainy, dark tone and sense of dread. The film premiered at the 2024 Newport Beach Film Festival, also screened in the Borzos competition at the 2024 Whistler Film Festival, as well as Nightmares Film Fest, Film Quest, and Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Fest. Yes. So it didn't win anything, doesn't look like. Oh yeah, it did. It won Best Found Footage Feature at Film Quest and Best Editing. And it won Best Director at the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. So, never really heard of them, but good for you. Film festival wins are always nice, but they don't always translate to the theaters, that's for sure, because that shit was boring as fuck. So, all right, I guess that's going to about do it for Hunting Matthew Nichols. Yeah, in closing, it put me to sleep. I mean, I can't even give an honest score aside from that I fucking hated it, and as soon as they started with the Blair Witch fanboying, I checked out. So yeah, fuck Hunting Matthew Nichols. That movie sucked. Save your money. Don't go see it in the theater unless you absolutely love boring-ass found footage mockumentaries. All right? Hopefully, I saved you a few dollars, Boo Believers, because, yeah, this one was terrible. I wish I had saved my $6. But I did get a good nap out of it, so at least there's that. All right, that's going to do it. Make sure you like, subscribe, ding the bell if you're on YouTube so you get notified for all of our latest content as soon as it's uploaded. And follow us on all the podcasting platforms. Until next time, stay spooky.